Alright, so I'm going to do one more quick tutorial. So this will be like a soap dish. It's pretty simple. I just give an example of a soap dish and an example of sizing 5.5 by 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. So, but it's going to be completely different from what you see here. I mean, this would be a great kind of mesh design because you could just create the shape, extrude it out, convert it to mesh, and just pull in the center portion to give you that nice smooth finish. So we can do that, or we can do a completely different design. But let's do that for the quick second. So basically, I'm going to create a rectangle that is 6.5 by, what was it, 3.5? By 3 3/4. 3.75, a rectangle, and I'm going to extrude it up. So from sweep, I'm going to go extrude, but I'm going to have a taper of it. Taper of, let's say, about 10 degrees. I should put negative 10 degrees, but okay. So I'm going to go ahead and taper again, negative 10, and I'm going to go 1.5 inches high. So pretty simple. I can change my view into a conceptual, and I have a lovely boring shape. Now if I want to modify it just a tad bit, I can give it a rounded edges on both sides. There's a quick way of doing this. So if you want to check out my little trick here, I create a cylinder at the center, go all the way through, and I use the solid intersect. So I select the two objects and I get that overall shape. Quick, done. Once I'm happy with that, I can convert this into a mesh. So I smooth object, select the object, create mesh. Now it pre-smooths it. I don't want it to be smooth, so I uncrease it. Or sorry, unsmooth it. Give me back to my original shape where I can add creases. I go into my filter for faces. I select the bottom faces. It should be more like so. Add a crease to that. In your mesh, there's a add crease. So that area is going to always be flat. Then I'm going, in addition to that, I am going to see how that works out first. Alright, that kind of worked out pretty weird. I'm going to undo that smoothness. Now if I want to add a small radius fillet around the edge to make it more enjoyable, I can go back to my solids, fillet. Oh, that's not going to do the mesh. Well, come to think about it, I should have just made it out of a mesh directly. Not sure why that caused problems. So I can go back, recreate that pretty simply. D 3.75 by 5.5, extrude, T for taper, negative 10 degrees at 1.5. And instead of doing what I did before, I'm just going to go directly into mesh. I'm going to make this a mesh object. I'm going to unsmooth this less, returning me back to my previous shape. From here I can go into creating that center rectangle, center cylinder. So cylinder, select the center, select the edge here, go right through, use the intersect. Gives me a nice new shape. Very smooth. It almost looks like a soap, so I'm going to keep that as a reference because I like that. So I'm going to unsmooth this. Not sign, let me do. Oh, smooth this. Okay, so that doesn't. And I'm going to unsmooth this. I'm going to add a crease by selecting the bottom surface. Add a crease. And on the top, I can select these faces. And I'm going to pull them, or actually I should just select the center point and pull that down. And then finally I'm going to select the faces as well, pull those down. And if I smooth that in, I end up with a soap dish. Scale this down here to my actual soap. And finally, go into my renderings, browse material. I don't think they have actual soap option, so I have to come up with something else. And then I go to render to get a rendered image of this. Oh, kind of missed it. Change presentation. Right.